Hi, this is Coach Pete, and if you've got questions about how to safely and properly allocate your investments, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Financial Safari.
Broadcasting from coast to coast, it's the Financial Safari with your host, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Coach Pete and his guests are some of the nation's top financial professionals. They make it their mission to guide investors through the treacherous jungle of the financial world, showing them how to grow, keep, and leave their money for their loved ones. So stick around and find out how to make it through the jungle of the financial world on the Financial Safari.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the Financial Safari. I'm Shannon Reeves, and with me today I have Chuck Caton and Coach Pete D'Arruda.
How you doing, Shannon?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm
today,
excited
Coach?
about the show. It's always fun to be on. We do a national radio show. Been doing it for 15 years now. That's we just had an
I
anniversary,
think
didn't we, Chuck?
and it's been a fantastic show, Coach.
Yeah.
I tell
Yes,
you,
it
Shannon,
has.
it's very educational.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've learned a lot in the little time I've been here.
Now, Chuck, you're a Hall of Fame broadcaster, so we need to give you your credit. If you ever listen to the Carolina Hurricanes on the radio, you heard Chuck's voice.
That's right, and I really enjoyed 39 years.
39
Wow.
years. That's
And
a
I'm
long
only
time.
45, so you figure it out. I was a child prodigy, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the financial world's confusing. We do our radio show, Chuck. We talk to people every single week, and Shannon, I talked to you about it when we're personal friends. We talk
Yes.
about it in the evening a lot of times
Quite a
about in the professional life here about how people are confused. They don't know what to really do. Folks, you're out there, you're putting money in your 401ks, your 403bs, your TSPs, all these different places to save money, and you build these lump sums up. And Chuck, I want to talk to you about this in a minute, but the lump sums build up, but then retirement comes right around the corner, sort of like that little engine trying to go up the hill, right? You're building the money, you're building it, and then you either go down the hill too fast and derail, or you don't get over the hill. And that's when you have these lump sums, you don't have an income plan. So how important is it, Chuck, for everybody out there who is thinking about retiring, which everyone's thinking about retiring, wants to retire sooner than later many times, or retire on their terms, how important is it for everybody out there to have an income plan?
It's extremely important because, as you said, you see that lump sum with whatever's in your 401k, whatever's in your pension, and you fail to realize that that's not the total amount of money that you're going to be able to extract in retirement when you take your required minimum distributions, because there's something called Uncle Sam that's in your pocket. And these are the things that people don't think about. And the other thing they don't think about, Coach and Shannon, is what are the little fees, the financial termites that take away. So that one lump sum means nothing unless you're planning for retirement and how you're going to be able to, and what your expenses are. I mean, something simple as that. What are you going to spend in retirement?
Well, I did a study on financial termites, fees, and believe it or not, as little as 1% of fee a year can eat up your portfolio over 30 years.
Unbelievable.
And I put together a box set called the 401k Survival Box Set. In here, I have a fee worksheet. Chuck, we go over this on the radio, but the difference between someone with 0% fees and somebody with 3% fees is over half the value's gone over 30 years.
Unbelievable.
And so if you'd like a copy of this 401k Survival Guide box set, it's a $300 value. It's got DVDs, workbooks, guidebooks, even one of my books that I've written 8 books. We'll throw that in there, as well as your choice of a couple others. All you have to do is give us a call. The number's 888-910-8265. Again, that's 888-910-8265. This is a live show. I'm pretty sure they're putting the number under here as well. But I recommend you call. We have a limited number of people we can see every week, but I think everyone out there that's watching the show, Chuck, and is serious about retirement needs to give us a call and get that no-cost review. This is at no cost. We're going to waive our fees since you're seeing us on TV, just like we've done for 15 years on the radio. Folks, it's confusing, I know, in this financial world, but 27 years I've been in the financial arena. Guess how many complaints I've had?
I'm going to guess zero.
Zero. Because we explain everything up front, and it's very important because we've all bought that car and got home, and either a couple hours later or a couple days later wondered what the heck we did.
Yeah, and you go through the owner's manual and you're thinking, well, what chapter is it? What page is this on? You know what I should have done? I should have asked my salesman. Well, he's a true fiduciary that you can ask, and I would implore everybody to ask questions. When you get that no cost, no obligation appointment with Coach Pete and his team, sit down. If you don't understand anything, please ask. And I know we talk about this with our kids. There's no bad questions. There's never a dumb question, especially when it's your money.
Well, my dad was a college professor for 39 years. He just retired. And what he said is there's never a dumb question.
Right.
Except the ones we would ask him at night on the dinner table, and then it was a dumb question. So we were afraid to ask. But it really shouldn't be anything afraid about asking questions, Shannon. And I know you've been around the financial arena a long time. Tell everybody out there, everyone's confused. They're confused. There's nothing wrong being confused, right?
People are confused,
Yep.
and a lot of times I can equate it to sometimes when you're talking to your medical doctor. People get intimidated by a medical doctor. People can be intimidated when they walk into a bank and everyone is, behind a big teller line and suited up. But we take the approach of just, you can ask anything. We want you to ask questions. We want you to be engaged because this is your financial future that you have, that we're all working on together. We're your true partner.
Yeah, and again, folks, it's one thing to say that, but we're true independent fiduciaries, Chuck. But we don't recommend anything to begin with. A lot of people come in and say, what do you recommend? Well, first of all, we sit down because we customize everyone's situation differently. Tailor-fitting suits for you, like if you go to a tailor and get a dress or a suit, they make it fit just right. We do the same thing with the financial world. So you don't walk into a custom-fit suit or dress place and say, give me a dress. First, they measure you. First, they find out what you like, your colors you like, and where are you going to wear this dress or suit. Same thing, not dress for you, Chuck, but the same thing in the financial world. We need to figure out what you want your money to do for you, and what it's going to do and help you in your family all the way through retirement.
And the biggest thing is they speak in simple terms so you can understand it. There's no medicalese or legalese. You don't have to go to a thesaurus to understand what Coach Pete and the team say because they spell it out in true, simple language. You can understand it. But again, it's all about your money. It's all about maximizing your retirement funds, minimizing your taxes, things like when to take Social Security. They can advise you on all of these accounts.
We've got a specialist that's going to come on and later on the show, or there were shows in the future, and talk about Social Security planning, Medicare planning, estate planning attorneys coming in, accountants, CPAs, telling you the proper decisions to make before you make them as far as tax-wise, because that gets more people in trouble than most anything out there is taxes.
Oh, yeah.
But you look at Mount Everett, and more people, I have no desire to climb Mount Everest, but some people want to climb Mount Everest and go all the way up to the top and then come back down. But more people get killed, believe it or not, and it's sad, but more people on the way down than the way up because they're paying more attention on the way up, I guess, and on the way down they get a little lazy. Well, same thing with retirement planning, Chuck. More people's retirement plans are hurt when they approach that financial red zone, which is age 52 and above, than when they're building the money. Now, it's no fun to lose, but it's a lot more fun to gain. So if you are curious about what's going on in your own situation, we've got a customized report for you based on your situation. We'll run a fee report that will help you identify financial termites. We'll do a tax report to look forward for you to protect your behind from the tax man. We'll also run that customized lifetime income report for you based on your situation and what you want to have happen to see and make sure that the retirement will be comfortable. So all you have to do to get all these wrapped up in one package, I've seen others charge over $1,000 for this. But since you're watching us on TV, you'll get my box set. You'll get your choice of 8 of the books I've written. I've grabbed a handful of the books that I've written before I came in. My favorite one is 7 Baby Steps. But all you have to do is call 888-910-8265. You'll see the number on the screen. We have a limited number of appointments. For the next 20 people who call, though, there'll be no fees or risk for you to come in and get your plan done. 888-910-8265. We'll be right back after this.
Talk to one of our local experts, and we have a special offer for you on today's show. Call in the next 30 minutes, and we're going to custom design for you an easy-to-understand financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. There's no obligation or cost for this initial review for all callers who have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. If you meet those qualifications, here's what you can expect. First, we'll run a fee report to help you untangle what it's costing you to work with your current planner or advisor. We'll show you how to protect your investments and keep more of your money in your accounts. Next, we'll perform a tax analysis to show you how you could possibly be reducing your taxes and increase your cash flow. And finally, we'll create a customized lifetime income plan using proven strategies and techniques that could turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we'll take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So, for all callers who call in the next 30 minutes, a comprehensive financial review that we're offering with no obligation. Just call the number below right now.
everybody, David Perkins, and today's funny money story is about funny money, counterfeit money, kind of. Back in 2001, it's February 2001, and George W. Bush had not long before that been inaugurated as 43rd President of the United States. Still president, still very much alive, certainly not president long enough to be on money, but someone went into a Dairy Queen in Kentucky and handed the Dairy Queen employee a $200 bill with George W. Bush's picture on it. Now, on the back of the bill, there's a picture of an oil well, and there's also a picture of the White House with a sign on the lawn that says, "I love broccoli." Now, that has to be a reference to George W. Bush's father, George H.W. Bush, who hated broccoli. Well, the employee of Dairy Queen accepted the $200 bill and gave the man his ice cream and $198 back in change of real money. Well, eventually they found out, and the police said, look, we can't charge the man with counterfeiting because there's no such thing as a $200 bill. We can get him on deception. So we got a story here of funny money and a Dairy Queen employee not too quick on the uptake.
We welcome you back to the Financial Safari. I'm Chuck Caton. Shannon Reeves is to my right, and to my extreme right, the man with 27 years of fiduciary experience. He works for you, Capital Financial's own Coach Pete D'Arruda. And you know what? In that last segment, I would have liked you. You didn't want to climb Mount Everest, right? I was going to call you the Financial Sherpa, though, because you can help people that want to climb.
I like to look at myself as a financial shepherd. So let's make sure that you go the right way. Individually. So
Absolutely.
I don't take flocks of people and put them in one place. We individually talk to every single family and make sure that, number one, we see what you're looking to have happen in your financial world. And Chuck, I'd like to even press the rewind button a little further. What do you think is happening currently with your financial situation?
Right.
Because a lot of people meet with their advisor maybe one time in their life. Unfortunately, we meet every single year or more. We have client events so every couple months where we get together with our clients and give a market update and an update on retirement, and then we individually meet with folks. But we spend a lot of times in our lives educating folks out there who have a different planner, and the planner didn't do a good job of, number one, putting them in the right place, and number two, explaining to them what place they're in.
Yeah, and I think that is something that is really terrible because there's no proactivity with a lot of your brokers or financial people. They kind of take you for granted as a client. That doesn't happen here.
Well, I know, and it's just important that you are comfortable with who you're working with. In anything in life. Your doctor, if you don't like your doctor, find another doctor. Your pharmacist, or even, those days of talking to the pharmacist are pretty much over these days.
That's
Remember,
true.
like the Andy Griffith show, they'd walk in and talk to the pharmacist? Well, now the pharmacists are so busy because they're understaffed in many of the drugstores that they don't have time to talk to you. But the pharmacists are pretty knowledgeable too. Right. Doctors, though, are the ones who write the prescription. The pharmacists fill it, but they tell you, why they're filling it and what they should be doing for you. So, Shannon, you said before the show you had a couple questions you wanted to ask.
I do, and during the break, I was reviewing some of my questions, and I know that you're going to have some great answers for us, Coach. But I'd like to ask our viewers, how do you feel about your current retirement plan?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, most people may be scratching their head right now, not quite sure.
Well, let me give you a little advice, and this is important. Chuck, we talk about this on the radio a lot, but if you don't have a lifetime income plan built into your financial plan and your advisor is telling you have a retirement plan, you might want to, again, press that stop button and go back and review, because if you don't have lifetime income built into your plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
Well, the one thing I love that you talk about, that we talk about a lot on the radio show, is you have a 95% chance or a 99% chance of fulfilling your retirement that you will not outlive your money.
Yep.
Well, I want to be sure that I've got a 100% chance, because I don't want to get on that financial airplane and have it crash, right?
Well, Wall Street model says about 9 in 10 people will be fine without an income plan. But I always worry about the 1 out of 10 because in my life, I've always been that 1 out of 10, it seems like. I don't want to be the 1 out of 10. I want to be the 9 out of 10, but why not 10 out of 10? And if we have a proper plan structured in income and bucketing strategy, we call it a financial fill-up strategy, where you have every single month throughout your retirement, no matter how long your retirement is, and no matter how long you live, and no matter how long your spouse lives, you will get a check every single month for the rest of your life. That's true retirement. That's taking the worry out of living in retirement. The true benefit is you don't have to turn the TV on every day and wonder if your retiment's safe or not.
And you have the assessment. Absolutely. You have the assessment by yourself. You sit down with your spouse, your significant other. What are your expenses every month? What do I need to live? What about the play money? There's the play bucket. There's the expense bucket. There's the growth bucket that you're talking about. All of those things come into play when you visit with somebody here, and the Coach Pete and the team.
Well, common misperception of us, because we talk about having that safe retirement plan and that core and explore type philosophy. Core is money you never have to worry about outliving. It's always going to be there. It doesn't depend on the market, and it isn't at mercy of the market. So it doesn't depend if the market goes up or down. But people say, well, Coach is always talking about having that safe income. He must just do safe planning. No. Once we get your safe plan put together, there's usually some extra money, some satellites or moons around the big planet. Well, then we can take risk with those. But what I see, and unfortunately I see it a lot, because Wall Street is motivated by keeping you at risk because they make fees every single quarter on the amount of money you have at risk, is they put your risk money in the big planet, and they put your safe money, if any, if they even put it anywhere, in these little moons out there. It needs to be reversed as we get over 52, because the market's been going great for the last 10 years or so, but there are no guarantees it's going to do good tomorrow. So trying to base past performance and say my retirement's going to be fine because my broker says that over history the market's averaged 10% or 9%. Well, averages are just that, averages, and they can pick and choose the dates they start and end in to get those averages. But the only way to get that true peace of mind is to have that lifetime income plan, that financial fill-up strategy, having that core money that's going to pay the expenses all the way through retirement, your living needs. Social Security helps with that. We specialize a lot of times in helping folks map out the proper claiming strategies for Social Security. But you always want some extra money, that money you put in your 401k, those big balances you have now. What are you going to do with those balances? Are you going to try to just take money out of that balance each year and hope it's going to be there for the rest of your life? Or will you put some of that balance into a place that guarantees that lifetime income? Chuck, we've talked to people every single day who got into a strategy like this, and they're so much more comfortable, Shannon. When you're not worried about where the money's coming from, you can go spend some money.
Absolutely.
All you've got to think about is about 8 or 9 years ago, and the people that had to retire, and then we saw what the market did, and if they weren't in the right places with their retirement planning and their income, they just didn't have that income, and they were forced to do some things like maybe even go back to work.
It doesn't have to be complex, and it doesn't have to be complicated. And I just see Wall Street making it way too complex and complicated. We have a full money managed platform too. So after we get your safe money in place, then we'll show you how to manage the risk money, managed risk, proper diversification, making sure that you don't have too much money in places you shouldn't, having true risk portfolios done, and diagrams showing you here's what could happen. It's the standard deviation model based on the risk you're taking right now. What could happen to your money if the market did not go the right way? It's good to know that ahead of time. If you want that personalized and customized plan done up for yourself, there's going to be no cost or obligation for the next 20 people who call right now. We've had a lot of calls already, I'm told, by the control booth. But let's open up the phone lines. The next 20 people to call 888-910-8265. Again, that's 888-910-8265. And when you come in, you'll get my 401k survival box set. That's a $300 value. You'll get your very own review. We've seen others charge over $1,000 for review. You'll get a one-page financial review that will show you if you're in need of a full-blown retirement financial plan. And if you need that, we'll do it for you as well. No cost or obligation. And then I'll let you choose 3 or 4 of the books that I've written. I've written 8 books. I'm working on 3 new ones. I write about 3 at a time, but it takes years to come out. But right now I've got my 7 Baby Steps book and America Asks Coach. Those are my 2 newest ones. But Chuck, the one that everyone loves, because if you ever want to buy a car, get a mortgage, buy a house, you've heard these timeshare presentations or reverse mortgages. I wrote a book called The Fine Print Fiasco, What They Don't Want You to Know When You Buy, Borrow, and Invest. Now, Wall Street doesn't want you to read this book. The car lot doesn't want you reading this book. I want you to read it because you can be informed. You're going to save money that way. Again, the number to call is 888-910-8265. We have a full team here. We've never had a complaint in 27 years, which is a long time not to have complaints. Again, 888-910-8265. We'll be right back.
welcome back to the Financial Safari. Coach, before our break, we talked about the importance of having a retirement plan that you can't outlive.
Yeah, it's so important.
So I'd like to broach the question of how many viewers do we have watching today that are worried about not only outliving their retirement plan, but maintaining their standard of living during retirement that they're accustomed to.
Well, Chuck, just a thought came to me when she was reading that. I'm worried about maintaining my hair.
Well, it's too late for some of us, okay? A present company included, but you're right. But that doesn't have to happen to you in retirement, right?
There's all
Shane?
sorts of gimmicks in the hair world too. I think I've tried every single one. The hair keeps falling out.
I know.
So we can structure it again. Greatly, it's different in the financial world because we can actually put a plan together that guarantees you don't lose.
Yeah,
we can even help you recover.
and that's right. And that's something that, they always say the old trite thing, right? Grass doesn't grow on a busy street, but I'll tell you, your retirement will grow when you talk to the fiduciaries here at Capital Financial.
Well, it's important, Chuck, because, being informed is the main thing. And, when we buy the hair care products, there's always, not enough disclaimers, but disclaimers saying this may not work. It doesn't. It works for the people selling it.
Right.
And we see this in the financial world, too. There's a lot of strategies out there that haven't been proven, but they're selling the heck out of them out there to people by enticing them with fancy, full-color brochures. And I always say the brochure giveth and the fine print taketh away. You got to put the TH at the end, taketh away.
Absolutely. You talked about it before the break.
Yeah, so I spend a lot of time analyzing fine print, and then especially with those of you out there who don't understand what you really have. And there's nothing to be ashamed of by that because about 9 out of 10 people that come in don't understand what they have from their current advisor. So Chuck, we spend a lot of time, the team up there, Parker Holland, me, Marty Hensley, and Shannon Reeves, we spend a lot of time analyzing what people have for them and explaining in clear details what they currently have.
Well,
And
again,
inform's important.
Absolutely, and it's straight talk, and it unravels all of the twists and turns that you've had with maybe your financial advisors of the past, and this is where it'll get all straightened out, and believe me, you'll be satisfied.
Yep.
Well, before our show this morning, I found a special report that Coach had written. It's called The Income Volcano. Coach, can you tell us a little bit about this special report?
I'm proud of that report. I wrote this last year, and now we've had it published because it was the time that that volcano erupted in Hawaii. Mount Kilauea, I think it was, I can't pronounce it right, but it was the eruption. Mm-hmm. And I did some research on it. It is 300,000 years old, but it's considered a young volcano. But when you look at the volcano, the lava comes out, it spurts out, and it comes down, and nothing stops it. Well, that's what we want retirement income to be. It wants to, when retirement comes, you want to have that eruption, that income eruption. You never want to have anybody stopping that. You want to have that income come for the rest of your life, and nothing can get in its way. And that's what true income planning is. And we've seen so many games and gimmicks out there. There's only one true financial fill-up strategy, and that's when you have an income volcano built into your retirement accounts. If you have 401k balances, and many of you watching probably have left a job and left your 401k behind, don't take control of that money yourself because you can have a tax situation. But what we usually do is we help you by opening up your very own individual IRA and then rolling that money without you touching it into that IRA. Therefore, there's no taxes and there's no tax penalties or taxes on that. And then you have your very own income plan in that new IRA instead of what you have that 401k lump sum. They still have a lump sum, but you also have income plan. And that's overlooked. Wall Street doesn't offer this. That's why you don't hear much about it. But it's the only way to guarantee you never run out of money in retirement.
Absolutely. And one of the other things is the tax ramifications of doing that. They can tell you how to make sure you can minimize your taxes by taking that 401k money and putting it into vehicles where it minimizes your partner, Uncle Sam, from taking more than he should.
It's important, isn't it, Shannon?
It is absolutely important. And it goes back to what we talked about earlier on in our segment where we talked about you may have $1 million in your retirement plan, but when Uncle Sam takes his piece, you actually, in actuality, do not have the $1 million in your retirement
So
plan.
folks, let's make it easy for you. If you're one of the next 10 people who call, we'll put together for you your very own tax analysis, your income planning report, your financial fill-up strategy, your core and explore. This is over a $2,000 value if we charge per hour to do this. We're going to waive those fees for the next 10 callers. There's no cost, no obligation. We have never had a complaint here for a reason in 27 years. Let's make sure that you are informed about your financial situation. There's no risk. And I'll give you a copy of that 401k survival box set as well as some of the books that I've written. All you have to do is call right now, 888-910-8255. 888-910-8265. Again, that's 888-910-8265. And we'll see you next week.
Talk to one of our local experts, and we have a special offer for you on today's show. Call in the next 30 minutes, and we're going to custom design for you an easy-to-understand financial review that will indicate if you're in need of a full-blown financial plan. There's no obligation or cost for this initial review for all callers who have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. If you meet those qualifications, here's what you can expect. First, we'll run a fee report to help you untangle what it's costing you to work with your current planner or advisor. We'll show you how to protect your investments and keep more of your money in your accounts. Next, we'll perform a tax analysis to show you how you could possibly be reducing your taxes and increase your cash flow. And finally, we'll create a customized lifetime income plan using proven strategies and techniques that could turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we'll take the guesswork out of financial planning for you. So, for all callers who call in the next 30 minutes, a comprehensive financial review that we're offering with no obligation. Just call the number below right now.
Information provided is for illustrative purposes only and does not constitute investment, tax, or legal advice. Information has been obtained from sources that are deemed to be reliable, but their accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed. Neither Peter J. Deruta or his guests are liable for the usage of information discussed. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal, or tax professional before taking any action. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Individuals should thoroughly review the contract for specific details of the product features and costs. Income payments and withdrawals from deferred annuities are generally taxable as ordinary income in the year they are taken.